A little background. So the idea of this building came about shortly after finishing the One Wasabi Financial Center. After finishing that, which was my largest MOC project ever, I wanted to build something simpler. I was gonna dedicate 2023 to lighting and modifying my skyscrapers, which I've done so far. One idea I toyed around with was making the Vibe Hotel taller, but after playing around with that concept, I decided to go forward with a new design. So here it is, my 8th finished skyscraper, the Highterrace Tower Hotel. Alright, let's start off with the basic information. It sits on a 40 by 32 base plate, but the building footprint itself is around 32 by 24 studs, which is the smallest footprint of any skyscraper that I've done. It's standing at almost 54 inches tall, has 14 floors plus the roof module, so 15 total. The defining feature of this building are the terraces. I've got 3 of them, which we will get into detail later on. I didn't keep up with a piece count, but since I had the corporate spire estimated at more than 8,000 pieces, I would say this one probably has at least 1,000 more, just because of more floors and more interior details. Looking at the first 2 floors, it's something of an old school Renaissance Revival style architecture. The concept is that this was an old building replaced by a modern glass tower, but the architects decided to keep the facade of the old structure. In terms of the Lego build, it's very similar to my Backpackers Inn build with all the snot tiles on the second floor. I used a bunch of arch pieces on the ground floor, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time but haven't found the best use for it in buildings until now. Light gray and tan pieces are abundant in my inventory right now, so I didn't have to place bricklink orders for the facades of these lower floors. Where I blew the money is in the glass building part. I had to order multiple window pieces like these. Many round plates were put between these modified brown 1x4 plates, and that design feature goes all the way to the top. In case you're new to this channel, I quite like this design feature. I've used it here, and in here, and in here, and in here, and variants of it here, and in here, so yeah. I also ordered a bunch of trans-clear bricks here, which by the way, when I started building, I planned to have trans-light blue pieces in place, which I didn't have a lot of at the start, and was initially using the clear pieces as just a stand-in, but then I realized, hey, the clear pieces look kind of cool here, so I stuck with it. And I also had to order extra plant leaf pieces for the terraces. And of course, there's LED lighting, courtesy of Light My Bricks. There are 4 battery packs here, and with those I'm able to light up 12 of the 15 modules. Not bad. So that's it for the general exterior design. Now I'm gonna go into detail with the interiors. Alright, looking at the first floor in detail. As I discussed earlier already, it's inspired by Renaissance Revival architecture. You've got the main entrance here through these doors, and then the rest of the big arches just have glass windows over here and these 2. And then over on the side there's another door that leads to the elevator directly. And now we're going to take a look inside, which is the lobby. I think the floor tile pattern makes it stand out among many of my other lobby designs. There's 3 huge pillars here and here, and 1 more over here. And then the main focus when the minifigures walk into the lobby is the background for the front desk, which is just a pattern that I conjured up with existing pieces. What's neat about it is there's actually an LED strip under here with the wire running through the brown bricks over here, which is connected to a wireless connector piece, which is then connected to the battery pack in the second floor. When it's lit up as such, you can see that the background decoration is illuminated, which I think is awesome. And right above the first floor is of course the second floor, currently not furnished as you can see. but the tan does bring a bit of contrast, definitely compared to the rest of the Skyscraper, which is mostly black with blue windows. So even if I didn't do a full interior here, there are still lights, and the light switch is accessed through this little hole here. I don't have any immediate plans to furnish this floor in the near future, but if I did, it will probably be a restaurant. To be quite honest, I just wasn't in the mood to do another restaurant interior, so I just left this floor be for now. And here are the first two floors with the lights fully on in the dark. And even with just this single bit light, I think it illuminates the second floor pretty well. And with that, we're gonna move on to the next floors, which is among the standout floors in the Skyscraper. I think it's rather apparent that this has a much higher ceiling than the other modules. Most of my modules are around 8 or 9 studs high. This one's at 14 studs high. I think the high ceiling gives the terrace a more open feel, and this floor is actually the breakfast area. And looking at the interior, there's a small spread of breakfast food over here, and then a small drink section on this table. This room is more of a pantry area, so I just put some shelves on the back wall. Otherwise, it's a pretty basic room. There are several tables for two all over this floor. There's one inside, and then we got a couple more tables outside. Now for the actual terrace part, I just used knot bricks all around. That's how I was able to attach the plan pieces to the side. I also added small leaf pieces all around, just to have some variation on the greens. And then obviously I added more flowers on this side of the terrace. Looking in the back, there's a reason that this side didn't have hanging plants. That's because when it's sitting on top of the first two floors, I wanted it so that this building can sit flush right next to a smaller building. Just as an example, this is one of my smaller modulars sitting right next to the building. There's a video for this building, by the way. Check it out. The next floor up is an office. Well, sorta. It's a business area. I've built 5 hotels as of now, and this is the second one to have a business area. The Vibe had a small room, but the Highterrace has a whole floor dedicated to this. But even though this is fully furnished, I didn't go overboard with the details. When the minifigs enter this floor, there's a short hallway. The first room to the right has a glass window and a glass door. It leads to a relatively simple office area with just one small computer. And then the other door leads to the bigger room, which is a conference room. I think it's definitely one of the fancier places to have a meeting in, with a nice 270-degree view of Wasabi District. And the room is dominated with this large table for 8. Again, just simple stuff, no fancy techniques here. It's as simple as it gets. Simple table construction, of course, standard seats. And then this cabinet is also a relatively easy build. But this floor is an amenity that somehow I just never focused in my other hotels. Lastly, this floor is also a battery pack floor. The switch can be accessed through this door right here. By the way, there are 2 more battery pack floors and they will be accessed the same way through a door like this. And the battery pack is going to power the floor above. This is the 5th floor, which has the lights for the 4th floor. And also LED lights on the 5th floor, this unfinished floor. Underneath the office floor, I have 3 LED bit lights here, here, and here to power the 3rd floor terrace. So when I put it together, and here they are under the lights. So the terrace is actually lit up with green LED lights. I think it makes the plants stand out at night. Ain't that neat? And just like in my other buildings, I have these gray pieces randomly, so they block out random sections of the facade. I think it's more realistic that way. With that, it's time to move up to the next few floors. A couple of more levels above, we have the second terrace. It's very similar in terms of size and construction compared to the first terrace. Same footprint, same high floor ceiling. But if you take a closer look compared to the first terrace, the greens over here is just a little bit more lush, a little bit more naturey. That's because this floor is actually a small botanical garden. The hotel guests can just indulge a little bit around a bit of nature, even if it's on a sleek black skyscraper. And the floor plan is really simple. Once you get out the elevator here, there's just a simple circular pathway that takes you outside in the terrace area, and then back in through the doors here and in here. Like in the first terrace, there are snot bricks all around that hold the plants and the leaf pieces on the side, and I just added more plant pieces all around the path. One of the prominent pieces outside are the bamboo style leaf pieces. The inside has colorful flowers, bigger and taller bamboo here, and actual small trees over on this side. I made the pathway to look like it's made of stone, so no specific tiling pattern, and I think that adds to the rawness of this level. And also, like the first terrace, this is lit up with green LEDs at night, and I think the green LEDs brings focus to the plants a little bit better in the dark. The lights are of course attached underneath the floor above, which we're going to look at next, the actual hotel room. It took us more than 10 minutes in this video to actually get to the hotel part, but here we are. But if you look closer, it's really just basic stuff here. Just one floor has one hotel room, which is more like a studio suite. The first room to the right when you enter the suite is the bathroom. And like the offices earlier, I kept the construction relatively simple. It has all the features one would need. So there's a sink, a mirror, a toilet, and a shower with an actual nice view. And then you actually have two rooms here when it opens up. There is a bedroom and a kitchen with a small dining area. Looking at the kitchen first, here's a pretty modern take of what a kitchen counter would look like. So you've got a refrigerator here, integrated stove, a sink of course, and also a couple of ovens over here. There's a small dining table for two right next to the glass wall, and on the other side of that glass wall is of course the bedroom. The bedroom is dominated by an actual 6-wide bed with nightstands facing the small TV and the desk on the opposite side. Like I've been saying, nothing too groundbreaking in the design of the furniture, though I try to cover all the essentials. This floor is also a battery pack floor, third one we've covered so far. The switch is over here, so it lights up the terrace below like I've shown earlier, and with another wireless connector here. When I put two more empty floors on top, you've got 4 floors that are lit up pretty well. So that's a summary of the second terrace, the hotel room, and the 2 other floors with the lights. And we're going to move closer to the top. These 2 higher floors is where you have the spa. This is also actually one of the more unique and cooler modules that I've ever designed in my opinion, because I built nothing like it before. Alright, first we're going to cover the lower floor. And talking about the exterior first, you're going to see the same style of greenery as the first 2 terraces, though it's a little bit smaller. It's cut off a little bit here, but all 3 sides are covered with the plant pieces. The brown plate that stretched all the way up transitions to this side, becomes larger. It's a pretty distinctive design feature. And then looking inside, after the guests walk out of the elevator, you have the sauna, which is over here. As for inspiration, well, I just googled sauna images. I've only been to a sauna once, so I can't say I'm an expert at what it should look like, but I think I did a decent enough job here. I just used brown pieces of varying shades to construct the interior with sauna rocks placed in the middle. And then there's a big clear window here with a view of the pool, which is just outside. The pool itself is not a new design. If you've seen the videos of 505 Wasabi or the Vibe Hotel, it's a very similar design, which means I can take this part out as such put a minifigure in. Like this. Other than that, I just have a few more pieces of furniture around it. I have a small table with seating for two and a sun lounger over here. The next floor up is the massage area. Again, not really an expert on what it should look like, but I think I made it comfortable looking. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a small shower here. And the main room, you have the massage table decorated with some plants. And also this background design, which I've had the design for a while back. I was planning to use it in a lobby, but decided to use it here instead. And since this is also a battery pack floor, the fourth one, I've put the lights underneath here so it illuminates the wall structure, but not too bright. Just enough for it to be comfortable mood lighting, as you can see. Oh yeah, and by the way, this battery pack powers the lights for the pool and the sauna. And also there's a wireless connector here, which brings us to the top module, which has all kinds of mechanical details. If you've been following the channel long enough, you'll know that I tend to flood the top floor with grill pieces, pipes and vents and big air conditioning units and chillers. And that's pretty much what I did here. And my last video was actually the instruction for this big unit, so check that out also. And then over here, and you can see part of it underneath, there are dark gray pipes. These pipes actually have a purpose. There are wires running through these pieces. They're all connected under one expansion port under here. Actually, you can see it sticking out just a little bit. And then that's connected to the wireless connector. So I think on this view you can see all four lights. You got two here, one over here, and one more over there. And when I put the top module on, there you go. I think the green lights are pretty distinctive in Wasabi District. Alright, I've covered all the individual modules in this building. So let's put the whole thing back together. And here it is again, completed. Like I mentioned earlier, around 4.5 feet tall. And here it is again, under the lights, in darkness. Like I pointed out earlier, I think the green LED lights on the terrace, at least the first two terraces, do a good job of highlighting the plants. And just the green LEDs in general, including the top lighting, really makes this building stand out in my opinion. And here's a closer look of the top floor. You can see the pool area illuminated very well. The massage room is on the top floor with great views. And this is what it looks like looking downwards. So yeah, and of course this building is fully modular, so I can do something like this. I could go for a shorter modular building like this, and proportionally I think this actually still works pretty well. And this is another version that is more focused on the terraces. This looks pretty cool too. Maybe I should just build 3 versions of this building with the configurations I've shown you. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the Vibe Hotel and the Highterrace Tower. I don't know if you guys can tell right away, but there's a little bit of similarity on how they are laid out. Both hotels, both in a corner lot, both asymmetric, and you even have nearly similar pattern styles on the main facades. Yeah, so like I said earlier, this project used to be just a grander modification of the Vibe, and it just turned out to be a whole new skyscraper. As far as where it's going to sit in the layout, it's probably going to be right here. I just need to clean stuff up before I officially move it over here. And also this video is already too long, so I'll just save that for the next video. Alright, and that is it for this building. I hope you guys enjoyed the overview of the Highterrace Tower Hotel. Like I said, it was a long video, but I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have questions or comments, let me know. I'll try to answer it in the comment section. Again, thanks for watching. Peace.